观众朋友好，欢迎来到辛恬面对面。那么辛恬在这个摇摆州做的很多采访呢，其实我们还没有专注的来谈一谈亚裔的选民啊。那么今天呢，就是这个话题。在上一次2020年的总统大选中呢，亚裔美国人在摇摆州，就是乔治亚州的这个投票率是大幅上升啊，发挥了比以往任何时候都要大的作用，引起了很多方面的关注。那么其中呢，位于亚特兰大郊区的格温内特县人称是南方首尔地区，那里的亚裔美国人占这个战场地区合格选民的20.7%将近21%。那么这个地方呢是深受重视，那么重视到什么程度呢？就在8天之前，共和党的总统候选人川普呢就特地到了那里办了一场集会。那里是很多韩国人的聚集地，当然呢也有不少华人和其他族裔2020年乔治亚地区的亚裔投票率呢，要比上一届的总统选举是激增了84%，在拜登以微弱的优势获胜的这个那次选举中发挥了前所未有的作用。那么从那个时候起当地的亚裔社区是取得了非常大的一个进展。那么在今年的2024年的大选中，它会起到什么样的作用呢？也是引起了很多的重视。像 NBC 这些主流媒体呢，还特地去那里做报道。那辛恬呢，在去乔治亚州采访的时候，也是被我们的这个观众提醒，是有点就是意外的去造访了那里。那待会儿会跟大家说是为什么，但是呢，在那里的采访是非常大的收获。这个所谓的南方首尔呢，是格温内特县官方旅游组织所提出的一个口号那么它的地方呢，就距离亚特兰大不到1个小时的车程，它是延伸到了像德鲁斯Duluth， 还有苏万尼、劳伦斯维尔等等这些高档郊区郊区以及附近的县。那还有很多的工作，那里有很多的工作场所，许多的亚裔美国人呢，在那里是小企业主，或者是在医疗保健，或者像餐饮业、服务业，或者是一些国际公司工作。在1970年代的时候，韩国驻亚特兰大的领事馆呢成立了，韩国移民呢就开始迁入这个格温内特县那其实呢这个地方呢也是有一个它的历史意义的，待会儿也会讲一下。然后在亚洲的金融危机之后的1990年代末，人口呢在那里是持续的激增，吸引了很多家庭就来到了那个社区。此后呢，已经是有100多家的韩国公司迁入这个地区。那这个地区呢就成为亚特兰大韩国的人他们聚集最多的地方，它有将近大概7500个韩国人口，韩裔人。其中呢，像包括一些公司，像汽车制造商Kia 它就是乔治亚州最大的单一外国投资公司。那近30年来呢，韩国的韩式烧烤冷面火锅店在那个县是遍地开花。那么规模比较大的，就是规模庞大的这种逐一的这种杂货店，就比如说 H Mart 非常有名的韩国超市在那里呢是成为了这个购物中心的焦点。像就在这个 H Mart 就位于这个 Duluth 也是辛恬去采访的地方。那在那里呢是吸引了各个族裔的人还有各种烧烤店广式的早茶店那为什么辛恬会到那里呢？也是因为有我们热心的观众，那个时候听说我们到乔治亚州去采访，就邀请辛恬和我们的那个摄影师一起在那里吃饭一开始就说要去这个韩国烧烤店，我们是被这个2拨人都推荐说那里的韩国烧烤店特别好吃。那么在这个然后在这个德鲁斯也有一个顶尖的高中叫格温内特数学科学与技术学院。在那个学校呢，亚裔美国人几乎是占了学生总数的1半所以那里真的是一个亚裔聚集地。那么这个格温内特县呢， 是在乔治亚州东南部最多元化的县，而其中呢，我们已经讲到了这个它的韩裔的人数呢是非常之大。那么在那里，这些亚裔的人政治倾向是如何的呢？根据亚特兰大艾默里大学的历史学副教授克里斯苏，他说，格温内特县的亚裔美国人呢，跟全美的亚裔人相比啊，是比较更倾向于共和党的，而且呢，跟这个地区选民是比较一致的。那么当然了，里面许多有老移民，也有新移民，主要有包括韩国人呐、越南人呐、华人呐，还有其他的，比如说印度裔啊。这个在辛恬在采访中间呢，都遇到了他们。当然了，辛恬采访的也有白人啊，所以这次的采访呢，是真的是非常的丰富。但是根据辛恬在实地的采访啊，我就发现呢，不同族裔的，包括亚裔移民，在他们的这个政党认同方面呢，确实是还是有不同的。采访的地方呢，我们就是在这个德鲁斯当地非常著名的这个 Costco 的购物中心啊。除了有 Costco 的话，有韩国烧烤店，有这个早茶店。那么好，那么下面呢，我们就来看一看哈，这些各个族裔的选民，他们在这一次的大选中会选谁当总统呢？
川普还是哈里斯？
哦，那当然是哈里斯啦。
你可能会支持谁
？Harris
是吗？为什么呢？
因为因为我不喜欢川普就是了。
哦，就是不喜欢。
对，不喜欢。
不喜欢他的什么地方？
就是他整个的风格我不是很欣赏。
哦
，yeah。
那你觉得经济方面怎么样？就是现在的经济怎么样？
我觉得往下走。萧条。
那你担心吗？
我不担心了，因为我们早有准备。
那你川普的时候经济怎么样呢？
川普啊
，4年前经济，然后油价呀，
其实从很早就走下坡了啦。雷根开始就走了下坡了。
这就是对比最近这几年。
最近这几年啊。
对啊，油价
反正一直往下走嘛。
Trump or Harris？Harris,
I'm not for Trump at all.
Oh, why?
He got it for 4 years already.
Okay.
So,
but Harris had 3.5 years already too.
No, she has never been the president.
Do you support Trump or Harris?
Trump.
Trump, why?
Because he make the economy better.
Do you always support him?
Always, yes.
Always, since 2016.
Right.
How many years you live in the United States now?
30 years.
30 years.
I used to support Democrat. Afterward, I realized what Democrat did, so I'm not supporting them.
For President, Trump or Harris?
Oh, Harris.
Why?
Well, because I don't want to vote for Trump because of all the things that he's done.
What kind of things?
Well, all the cases that are against him, all the molestation, the fraud. So definitely.
So you believe that's true?
Yes.
So what's the most important issue for you?
Women.
Women.
And women's choices.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know the Trump's stance on the women's?
Well, completely against women. So
how do you feel? Some people think when you have women, can just freely abortion, would that make the relationship, just?
It's not just about abortion. It's about having a woman make her own choices. That's basically just that. Whatever it is, a woman should be able to make choices about her own body, not let anybody else choose that.
Yes.
I have to go.
Trump 2024.
Okay, why?
He's the one who has a plan. He's the one who cares about America.
Okay.
He's the one who's got to keep more money in our pocket.
好，就在 Costco 门前采访完这位男士的时候啊，就发现远处啊有一个戴着红帽的白人男子呢，他就是自己做一个很引人注目的动作哈，就向辛恬走过来。那么呢，在一边走呢，他就说他自己就叫 Tom 哈。那 Tom 是怎么回事呢？
Hello, I'm Tom.
Yeah, Tom.
Yes.
Yeah, so we can see who you're supporting.
I'm a President Trump supporter all the way. Make America great again. I've had this hat since 2015. Trump supporter, straight up. Yes.
Okay, why are you so supportive of him?
Economy, border. That's enough right there. We've had what? 15 million illegal people coming here. If we can afford as Americans to pay for 15 million people, we're paying too much taxes. We need the illegals to get out and come in legal. 100%. Legal. Bring interest rates down, pay off some of our debt. Trump's the man for that.
Some people are saying Trump is for the richest and Harris for the middle class. What do you say?
Please let me explain that to you. So Trump is saying some of these large corporations to give them a discount on the taxes because when the large companies come to town, they employ a lot of people. So lots of people have jobs and pay taxes that way. Kamala Harris is saying, tax the big companies, tax them, tax them, tax them. When you tax the large companies, guess what they do? They go to Mexico and they go to other countries. They leave our country. So if you give the large companies a little tax break, then they hire a lot of people and you still collect a lot of taxes. If she was for the middle class, she's already been in office almost 4 years. Inflation is through the roof. That affects the middle class. It doesn't affect the wealthy. It affects the middle class. They can't buy groceries. Gasoline's so expensive. So she's not for the middle class. That's a bunch of BS.
They said, oh, inflation is everywhere. So you cannot just blame on the president. What do you say?
Who do you blame it on? When she came into office, it was 3%. Now it's like 8%. So who do you blame? The people that are in office. She keeps saying, when I get in office, I'm going to do this, this, and this. She's in office now. She hasn't done nothing. She hasn't done nothing. She's not for the middle class. The middle class is who's suffering right now. That's who's suffering, the middle class. Gasoline. When Trump left office, it was $1.78 a gallon. Everybody can afford gas. Everything that comes to this store is diesel fuel and gasoline. If you get those prices down, all the prices come down. Drill, baby, drill. Drill for oil. We have so much oil in our... We were energy independent. We were selling our oil all over the world. We're an extremely wealthy company. The day President Biden took office, he stopped drilling. That was the largest transfer of wealth in American history. Wealth leaving the United States and going to other countries.
And the other question is, I got a lot from the Harris supporters, like, oh, Trump is not for women rights. How do you respond?
He's got women in his family. My wife doesn't feel that way. Women rights for what? A woman's got the same right as a man has.
Abortion.
You know what? That's to each state. Each state decide that. That's not federal.
So do you understand, like, why such, issue became such a dividing issue?
Abortion is something that I don't discuss. I would agree with you. It divides people, and I just don't have that discussion with anybody, not even with my wife.
I see.
My beliefs are my beliefs, and that's it.
So yeah, talking about the divide, one saying is a divided house won't stand, right? But now Americans seems to be very divided. How do you see that?
So yes, I think America is divided, and I think if we continue to talk about race, we will continue to be divided. I never say the word race. You and I are different races, so what? Who cares? I treat you the same as I treat my wife or my mother. That's my mother. If we continue to talk about it and continue to make a big deal about it, yes, we're going to continue to stay divided. I think the media and the press are the dividers. They lie. You never know the truth anymore. The media was originally created to keep the government honest. Now, the press gives their opinion instead of the facts.
Yeah. And then, when do you think it started? Because some people say, oh, it's Trump started. When he was started to campaign in the office, he started this divide. What's your perspective?
I think the divide was way before Trump ever even considered running for president. I think it's the press. It's the press.
Way before.
Way before Trump ever decided. Way before that.
So how do you think we can get back to, the traditional American people's...
Yes. Stop talking about race. I think it's a very, very, very small amount of people that feel racist. I think it's a very small amount. Stop talking about it. I love my neighbors, and my neighbors love me. And I think, generally speaking, Americans love each other. If the press would just get out of it and stop talking about it, I think it would be much more normal. Yes.
Do you live nearby?
I live in Johns Creek, not too far
Johns
from
Creek.
here.
Okay,
Yes.
I got a lot of people from there. So what's your feeling? Because Georgia is a very important state.
Georgia's very important.
Yeah.
I think Trump's going to pull it off in Georgia.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, because it used to be very blue and very red.
Correct.
Then just the last two,
I think what's going to happen is this. A lot of people that traditionally vote Democrat are going to go like this and change in the booth and not say nothing. That's what I think. Because the economy, the price of everything, the price of gas affects who? The middle class. It doesn't have an effect on the wealthy people. It has an effect on the middle class. People that are in here today, middle class.
哇，观众朋友，您觉得就是刚才这个 Tom 所讲的几个问题啊，您认不认同呢？就包括这个经济政策的问题，还有这个种族主义的问题、堕胎问题您觉得您同不同意他所讲的？同意的呢就可以写一个1，不同意呢就写2哈。那我刚才有注意到，我们有一位观众朋友在这里叫君翁王，说辛恬在我家的 Costco 门口，只是我最近在外地做事情，不然辛恬呢就能够看到戴着红色麦秆帽的这个朋友了哈。哇，真的是很非常的让辛恬惊喜啊！您居然就在您家的门口去采访了。那不知道王哈，您是怎么看辛恬刚才采访的这几位呢？其实你可以看到有一些华人，尤其是我看到的采访到的哈，当然也不一定有完全的代表性，就是年纪比较大的华人他们女性支持哈里斯，那么亚裔的男性比较多的是支持这个川普。但是下面呢要跟您分享的是对一对年轻夫妇的采访。那个先生呢是一个白人，他的太太是位亚裔，我猜呢可能是越南裔或者是韩裔的当然他就是因为自己的隐私呢他没有说哈，大家也可以猜猜看。不过呢我觉得很重要的是他们所讲的内容，因为就在刚才我最先播出来的就是说一些不管是挺川还是挺哈里斯的这些，尤其是就是说支持哈里斯的这些选民呢，他们讲出来的一些问题哈。那同时呢我也是去向这个下面的这2位这个夫妇去跟他们去有问他们一些其中的问题。我觉得他们回答的呢还是比较是很具体的。另外我要讲到的一点呢，就是大家可能会看到说，怎么对刚才那个 Tom 他是支持川普的，好像就采访得很长，前面就是支持哈里斯的好像采访得很短。但是很有意思的就是说常常来说就支持哈里斯的一些选民呢，他们不愿意多说，当然也有碰到愿意跟辛恬就是对话更长一些的也有，但是从总体上来说呢支持川普的选民更愿意来回答辛恬的问题。那好，那现在呢我们接下来呢就请大家看一看这一对年轻夫妇哈，也是在这个 Costco 这个 shopping mall 外面接受的采访。
Oh, Trump for sure, big time. Donald Trump, he's got actual policies that you can get behind, and that's better for the country. Kamala Harris wants to promote China or whatever she wants to do, but Donald Trump's the only one that actually wants, to fight for our country. He's almost died for it, so he's the man that's for us.
How about you?
He's a man of action. I mean, he say crazy things, I agree. But when it comes to action, we need a leader that can take action and can turn the situation around. Like, look at how under his residency, we don't have Russia take over Ukraine. We don't have Hong Kongers that fighting for their freedom.
No war started during his administration.
How do you feel about it? Some people say, Trump is against women's rights. How would you answer to them?
I mean, women's got rights. So
I would say that is the thing that I mentioned about when he say things he should not say. But then we say a lot of things that we did not meant, in the moment of frustration, or we just want to show our ego. But to hold one man against all of his action and his, things that he can do for a country, but just by some sort like that, it's just not fair. Because Harris say something stupid too. It's just the media did not broadcasting and mention about it and make sure to do a promo and cover everything. The thing that she say on news. So that's why people did not hold her against whatever she should not say, but it's different to Trump. So
You mentioned say women has the right. So what do you mean?
Yeah, well, the thing is, he may be crass and may not be the most appealing to the female voter, but what's more important is Kamala Harris herself is trying to take away human rights. That she's not a proponent of free speech. She's not a proponent of the Second Amendment. And those are vital things that she wants to control, and Donald Trump is more in favor of those things.
yeah, the thing is with the majority of people that's supporting Kamala Harris, I feel like if you agree with me, then you are right, and I can listen to you, and I can have a conversation with you. But if you are Trump, then you are stupid. You should shut up. You have no brain. You are like racist. You're against like black people, people of color. You against women's rights, stuff like that. Like, you're a woman. Why you support someone like Trump? Stuff like that. Like, it's my impression when I talk to people that supporting Kamala Harris. But let's just say, if someone supporting Harris and talk to me in that way, I'm a Trump supporter, I would not just shut them off like that. It's an open conversation. It's an open debate. Let's have it in peace and respectful. You voice your opinion and I voice mine, and let's step away. If you feel like, okay, I'm not agreeing, whatever she says is nonsense, just walk away. Be cool about it.
Have you always been supporting Trump, or?
Yeah, ever since 2016. Yeah, he's always had my vote.
Okay. What's the age of you?
We're under 30.
Under
Under
30.
30,
Wow.
yeah.
So you're the young people supporting Trump.
Yeah, I've actually only voted for Trump. I just realized that for three times in a row, he's the only one I voted for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yes. Do you understand why so many young Americans actually supporting, more liberal values?
Yeah, I would say like a lot of my coworkers, they don't really know what the policy is. Like, they hear about, okay, this is what Kamala Harris, promoting for her policy. Like, if you vote for me, this is what I'm gonna do. But then they forgot about veto. They forgot about stop. They forgot about there are a lot of things that stop the president decision to actually becoming true.
Yeah, for example, people say, oh, she's for middle class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so then I ask you, what the policy she's supporting middle class?
I don't know anything about she's supporting the middle class. I heard that she's promoting like, if you have this much kids and you have some kind of...
Yeah, she's promoting stuff like welfare and taking care of people that, don't want to work, but, Donald Trump's more of taking care of everyone and,
especially people
incentivizing people
work.
To work. Yeah.
Yeah, like OT with no tax on OT, overtime, and then no tax on tips with people that rely on tip. Well, I would say there are like a black and white of every problem, but what my main point is, I look at what Trump was able to do and what he did and what I see, and to me it's just simple as that.
It's pretty straightforward. I mean, the economy was definitely better under Trump.
Yeah, and like one time, just recently, Kamala Harris was like, 4 years, you wanna vote for me so I can undo whatever Trump did. It's like killing this country. And my point is, Biden has been the president for 4 years, and if he cannot undo whatever Trump did, then why do you think you can do it without?
And now that they've swapped out, gone from Biden to Kamala. Now we're going to get 8 more years of just the same thing of what we got for the last 4 years, and so that's what we have in store. That's pretty much what they're promising.
Were you able to have this kind of conversation with your,
I've been. Yeah, I don't mind. I have been having conversation like this to my coworker, but most of the time they also use that like, you're a woman, why you like vote for someone that harassing women, like touching, saying inappropriate thing about women.
How do you respond to that?
I was like, how many times in your life you are confidently you do everything correct and right, that you never offend anyone, you never say anything like inappropriate. The good thing is you're not a celebrity and you're not recorded, and whatever you do did not got broadcasting on the social media.
And how's their response?
They just walk away, and they of course use another reasoning like, okay, this is my body, this is my right, abortion right, stuff like that. And it's like, And then they also talk about Trump did not allow abortion even though you got rape and stuff like that, which is untrue. Like when the abortion right was out, they clearly mentioned about there are some exceptions when you can get abortion, like in rape cases, or if you have a defective child, just stillborn child, stuff like that. So it's like you pick a perspective on his whatever it is to discuss, and it's just not fair. And just take it chilly. When they talk about it, I tell them my point of view, but if I were to come up with them in something else, that I got a very aggressive energy, be like I'm an outcast, I should not belong, or whatever bad happened to me is because I'm a Trump supporter. Just that kind of energy that I'm not appreciate.
Wow. Do you know why, those young people are so
supportive?
Yeah, supportive.
Because her policy sounds really great. Like, you're going to college for free, and you can just choose whatever major you want without, and you could just borrow and just switching major around without worrying about paying that. It just don't make sense to me. Like, I agree life is about discovering what you really like, but you should be responsible for that. Maybe maybe not going to such a expensive school for some major that you clearly know is not gonna you're not gonna able to find a good job for that,
The self-responsibility.
Yeah, maybe not so entitled for people to work to pay for it, because you forget that everything free is not free. It's come from your tax money. Your tax money come from your, pension. A lot of things people say that, okay, your 401k is not guaranteed, or your Social Security fee, funds like that, is not guaranteed that when you actually retire, you entitled to get whatever you pay in there. So it's not, everything is not free. If it sounds too good, it is not true.
Why you have such kind of thinking? Who do you attribute to?
I would say to my cultures. I'm not from here. My parents work really hard to immigrate here, so we see the both sides above. I would not discuss that because I know people are gonna go after me. But I would say this: what policy Kamala and Biden has been, public thing is too good to be true, and is like give you a piece of the cookies and make you feel that that's everything, that's the best thing that you have, but it's actually they holding back a whole bucket of cookies behind you. That's kind of how it feels like. So I would say my cultures and my families, what I've been through, what I learned in my life is shaped on how I think and what I believe.
How do you feel about the schools, our audience, like their kids? They were taught those liberal values. I don't know for your experience.
So I heard that they got taught about liberal. So my take into that would be, I would send my kids or my nephew and niece to whatever they're supporting to see the reality of the problem. If people get it too easy, they will not understand the problem. If you cover them with, if you're trying to protect them in a way that they were never exposed to the real problem, they would never agree with you or whatever it is.
Yeah, I was homeschooled, so I advocate for homeschooling too. Yeah, so that may be an option in our future, but either private school or homeschooling. You got to be involved at least if you're sending your kids to public school. You got to heavily monitor those things, and they have your kids for like 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and so you really got to be aware of what they're being taught, and you got to, I guess, I don't know, teach your kids right before they get taught wrong, basically.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
好，那么观众朋友，您看了刚才的这一对年轻夫妇的采访，有什么样的感想呢？你觉得他们对于就说解释一些，比如说年轻人的想法，教育上面的问题，对您有没有什么帮助或者启发呢？好，请您留言跟我们分享哦。那这个就是在这个乔治亚州呢，乔治亚州目前来说啊，从民调来看呢，总体的民调来看，应该是倾向于川普的。 当然啦，其实呢，在这个最终的结果出来之前啊，我们都不能说很100%的确定。那乔治亚州呢，根据他的州务卿昨天为止啊，这个提早投票的这个统计上来说呢，他们也是已经突破了记录，说是这个提早投票已经突破了320万人。那其中呢，共和党的投票率是非常之高的哈，也是比往年都要高很多。那么不知道我们的观众朋友里面，除了刚才那位June On Wang， 您有没有去提前投票呢？其他朋友有没有提前投票呢？因为在乔治亚州呢，提前投票是可以到11月1号啊，也就是明天为止的。那不知道观众朋友啊，再去提前投票上面有没有一些碰到一些什么情况，或者说可以分享的呢？也希望您可以留言啊。好的，那么这个就是提前投票啊，如果就是在不同的州呢，它其实是有不同的这个截止日的，所以呢，如果您是可以投票的话呢，也是提醒您要去，就是说，如果可以投的话呢，就可以尽早的去投票了。好的，那么在接下来几天中啊，辛恬呢还是会继续关注跟您分享这个选举方面的采访或者说是新闻，所以呢请您不要忘了订阅一下辛恬面对面，打开小铃铛，跟您世界的朋友呢注册一个账号，点击这个关注啊。还有就是如果您对于这个国旗天使啊，大家还记得就是在宾州这个巴特勒川普演讲的时候集会的时候第一次是在7月中旬的时候有受到枪击嘛那时候呢就有不同的人都拍摄到了当时的这个国旗，它就是卷成一个像远远看就像一个天使一样的。那么现在这样的这个明信片还有就是徽章都有出来了。如果有感兴趣朋友想要留下一个纪念品的话呢，现在就是一个好机会哦。可以去这个辛恬面对面的网页上去看一下哈。那另外呢，就是说眼贴面膜真的都是非常好的，保护自己眼睛和皮肤、呵护皮肤的一个非常好的这些产品。那么欢迎大家去选购，也是对辛恬面对面这个频道和节目的支持，辛恬呢也非常的感谢。好，今天的节目就到这里了哈，感谢您的收看，那我们就下次节目再见了，拜拜。如果您有兴趣了解美国大选摇摆州选民的真实想法和即时的大选新闻更新，请记得订阅辛恬面对面频道，并打开小铃铛，这样就不会错过最新